actually included in BeWild. So BeWild runs from February to December. I take sort of the last bit of December and January mostly off because for me, that's my downtime. And this is some of the seasonality we'll talk about. So yeah, we run February to December. The core sort of part of BeWild are the 4 seasonal retreats. Now these range from 3 to 4 days, and they take place in various places around the country, and I'll tell a bit more in a minute. But these are seasonal, they track through the seasons, and they kind of each have a theme, and they build on those themes as we go through the year. And each retreat we layer on skills, experiences, confidence out in the wild, connection as a village. And we sort of build on those as we go through the year whilst tracking the seasons and exploring some different places and doing some cool stuff in each of the retreats. So those are sort of our major touch points where we get to come away, be together in person, and really dive deep out in the wild. We also have 10 monthly circle calls, and this is so important because you know how sometimes you go to an event and it's amazing and you love it and you come away with all these good intentions, you come away like really zhuzhed up and full of motivation, and then you get home and 2 weeks later life has happened, you've lost all of the motivation you had, you've forgotten what you said you'd done, your notes have disappeared somewhere, and you haven't like followed up with those new friends that you said you were going to follow up with, and you kind of feel a little bit guilty about that because like, oh, you know, that's another course I've done that I haven't blah 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 blah. Not going to happen with this one. So we have monthly calls to really check in with each other. And these become a real highlight for the women on the course because we get to know each other and we're there supporting each other through not just the program, but all of life's ups and downs. You know, imagine being able to meet every month with some women that have got your back. And these are fierce, wild women, right? Who have seen you at your best and your worst sometimes, and they're there for you no matter what. So every month we meet, and this, the theme of the calls varies. We always have a check-in and check in with how we're doing, what we're noticing kind of in the season. And then there's a theme for each of the calls. And that might be something to do with the season. It might be, for example, diving more into the wild woman archetype. Or if it's pre or post retreat, it might be focused on that retreat. For example, before a retreat, we'll do some work to dive into what do we want to get out of the retreat to really prime us for getting the most out of it, both on a practical and emotional level. And then post-retreat, we will look back and make sure we're capturing what we got from it. So we actually have a chance to integrate, you know, to reflect and integrate on our learnings from the retreat and hold each other accountable to some of those things as well. Because it's so easy, you know, as we just said, to let it all just drift away. This is a real chance to be like, what are you learning? What are you taking away? What do you need to implement? And those post-retreat calls are often really, really powerful for that reason. In between all of that, you get ongoing group support. So we always have our own private little Facebook group for that particular year. We often end up with a WhatsApp group as well. But yeah, I'm in there a lot. We're all in there supporting each other. It might be geeking out on gear, for example, like, you know, coming in and saying, oh, I need a new tent. What would you recommend? And I get to geek out on camping equipment, which is one of my absolute joys. And sometimes I'm in there sharing, you know, sort of tips and things about what's going on in the wild, what you can forage, recipes, and just generally checking in. You know, it's a place you can come and it's like a virtual fireside. You know, you can come and pull up a chair, grab a cuppa, and you know, ask for whatever you need, or share your successes or your celebrations, or ask, what on earth, this plant I've just seen. So we're always there. So we've always got this space, you know, throughout the year. For those of you that want an even deeper dive, there's an extra level. So you, which is the Unleashed level. Now, for those of you that go for Unleashed, and it won't be for all of you because it is a deeper dive, it's like a real commitment to, yeah, this is the year that I go to the next level. I mean, you all go to a next level, but this is like, need a little, either an extra bit of support, or I just really want to dig even deeper. So Unleashed is basically everything with BeWild, plus you get fortnightly one-to-one coaching. Now, we'll discuss on the call whether that's right for you. It won't be right for everybody, and I've only got limited space for that. But for those of you that it is right for, we'll discuss whether that's, over 6 months, 12 months, what it looks like. So if you're interested in that, ask me when you have your call. Uh, and then you'll have new friends for life because it amazes me every single time. Like, even though I know it's going to happen, it blows my mind and just opens my heart when I see these women connecting with each other. And a lot come with this fear of, oh, I don't know if I really want to hang out with a group of new women. I've not found, women's groups particularly great in the past, or I just want to come and have some time off. By the end of day one, really, of the first retreat, those bonds are forming, and it's just beautiful. It's beautiful to see these women supporting each other. One of the women this year one of us recommended something for her, like put her name forward for something. And, she's gone for it, and we've all just like been supporting her and, boosting her. And it's just so much love. I fall in love with everybody on my programs. And it's one of the reasons I do the application calls or the discovery calls, because this program isn't going to be right for everybody. And I'm really committed to, I would rather have a smaller group of people that it's absolutely right for than fill it with people that are not right, which is why I have the calls, because for me, the integrity as a group is such an important part of this. So I check in with everybody and just check that they're really up for this, not just for the physicality and the wildness, but also the commitment to the group. It's really, really important. And it might be something that they're nervous about, but actually they realize that it's something that has been missing from their lives, or it's an area that they really need to, or they want to grow in. To open up to the possibility of support or collaboration or friendship. So it's a really important part of the program for me.